Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into something we all use every single day, often without even realizing it. Whether you're texting a friend, reacting to a crazy news headline, or, stubbing your toe on the coffee table, you're using tiny words that pack a massive emotional punch. These little outbursts completely bypass our brain's filter. They give a direct, real-time window into exactly how we're feeling in any given millisecond.
So ask yourself, what tiny words carry the biggest feelings? Think about it for a second. If you want to speak natural, dynamic, and truly dramatic English, these specific words are the absolute secret sauce. If you just stick to standard textbook grammar, well, you'll communicate information, sure. But these words, they're the flavor, they're the spice, they are the immediate human reaction. Honestly, they're the difference between sounding like a robot reading a script and a living, breathing person experiencing the chaos of the real world.
Section 1. The emotion words. Okay, so the crucial starting point is understanding what these actually are. By definition, an interjection is a word expressing a sudden feeling or emotion, and it's very often followed by an exclamation mark. They show immediate emotion. We're talking about the pure, unfiltered joy when you win a game, or that sharp gasp of pain when you walk into a piece of furniture. It's an instant, instinctive reaction captured in a single breath. Our brains literally don't have the time to construct a full, grammatically perfect sentence like, I am currently experiencing a high degree of sudden physical discomfort. No way. Instead, we just yell, ouch. It's raw emotion condensed into a single syllable. Section 2. The power of tone. The absolute secret to these words is that tone is everything. The exact same combination of letters can mean entirely different things based on how you deliver them. Take the word hey. Listen to how a speaker's vocal tone and volume completely change its meaning. If I say it gentle and soft, hey, how are you? It's friendly, right? It's welcoming. It's an invitation to chat. But what if I raise my volume, shorten the vowel, and sharpen my tone? Hey, that's my seat. Suddenly, it's an aggressive, accusatory warning. It's the exact same word, but a completely different universe of meaning purely because of the musicality of the delivery. Let's look at another vivid example. Meh. This has become a staple of modern communication. If someone asks if you want pizza or burgers for dinner, and you give a flat, brief tone, meh, whatever, it just means you don't care, you're completely indifferent and happy to let them decide. But if you drag out that exact same sound to a long, exhausting me, you're suddenly illustrating complete apathy. You're communicating that you are severely bored, entirely unimpressed, and that the options presented to you are totally uninspiring. It's the ultimate linguistic shoulder shrug, delivered entirely through vowel length. Section 3. Joy, praise, and greetings. It's fascinating how we categorize these positive outbursts. These are your expressions of joy and praise. Wow, hooray, yay, booyah, ta-da. And they each have their own distinct flavor of happiness. When you want to express sheer amazement, you drop a massive wow. When you're celebrating a success, you throw your hands up and shout hooray or yay. These tiny words instantly broadcast your approval and joy to everyone around you. They're celebratory and highly contagious. Seriously, when someone yells yay, it is almost physically impossible not to smile. Let's put this into a real-world context. Picture this. Your colleague just absolutely nails a difficult, stressful presentation in front of the entire company. What do you say when they walk back to their desk? Wow! It's immediate admiration. It validates their hard work instantly. Or imagine you just passed a brutal final exam with flying colors, the kind you stayed up steady in 3 nights in a row for. You don't just politely say, I did well. You pump your fist in the air, release all that pent-up adrenaline, and shout, booyah! It's pure, unfiltered, triumphant victory. Section 4. Surprise, doubt, and attention. Now, these words are explicitly designed to grab attention or express sudden shock. We've got whoa, yikes, blimey, and ay caramba. Whoa can mean surprise, like seen an amazing magic trick, but it can also be an urgent command to slow down. If you're full of uncertainty, a long, drawn-out shows your brain is basically buffering, processing complex information before you commit to an answer. And then there's yikes, which perfectly captures that highly specific feeling of awkward alarm and secondhand embarrassment. Like when you realize you just sent a text complaining about your boss directly to your boss. Yikes! That's a feeling only an interjection can truly capture. This actually wonderfully illustrates how language evolves to show surprise across borders. Take a pop culture gem like ay caramba. It's of Spanish origin, but it's widely known and used around the world to express comic exaggeration, frustration, or shock. It just goes to show how English playfully borrows from other languages and cultures and then heavily reinforces it through global media. Plus, regardless of where you're from, it just feels genuinely fun and expressive to say when you drop your keys or spill your coffee. Section 5. Pain, disgust, and frustration. Notice the pure gross-out factor when we express intense negative reactions. Eck, ew, ugh, ar, oof, alas. Ew is immediate revulsion. When you step in a puddle of something unidentifiable on the sidewalk, ew is your brain's natural evolutionary alarm bell telling you to step back. Or if you're incredibly frustrated, maybe your computer just crashed 5 seconds before you managed to save your entire morning's work, you let out a guttural pirate-style growl. Arg! It's not really a word, it's the physical sound of helplessness and stress leaving your body.
But there's a massive contrast in how we express negativity depending entirely on the situation. Imagine taking a big, thirsty gulp from a carton in the fridge only to realize the milk has gone completely sour. Yeah! It's primal, visceral disgust. Your entire face scrunches up. But contrast that physical reaction with, alas. This is poetic. It's dramatic, lingering disappointment. You definitely don't use it for bad milk. You use it for theatrical sadness. Alas, our beautiful summer is at an end. It's like dropping a mini Shakespearean tragedy right in the middle of your everyday conversation.
Section 6. The Finnish connection. Now, it's pretty fascinating to compare these English sounds with their Finnish equivalents to see what's universal and what's culturally specific. Take ouch or oof. In Finnish, it's au, or oops, which translates to ups. These sound universally similar, right? Humans all over the globe make roughly the same phonetic shapes with our mouths when we accidentally drop a spoon or bump into a door. It's practically hardwired into us. But then look at the amazement of wow. The Finnish translation is jösses. It's wonderfully unique, proving that while human emotion is a universal experience, the tiny, instinctive words we use to express it are delightfully tied to our distinct cultures and linguistic histories. Section 7. Tips for natural speech. The source provides these fantastic, actionable steps to actually master these words, which is absolutely perfect if you want to sound more like a native speaker. First up, emotion dice. You literally roll a dice to pick a tone, like angry, sad, happy, and act out the interjection accordingly. Second, voice warm-ups. Try reading with silly or exaggerated voices to get comfortable making sounds you just aren't used to. Third, try some creative writing by building an entire short scene around a single, perfectly placed interjection. And finally, translation practice. Try matching these words with their local equivalents in your own language. I highly encourage you to try these out. Just go back to that golden rule. Tone is everything. Try saying oh 5 different ways. It is the absolute fastest track to natural expressive speech. To wrap up this explainer, let's look at this wonderfully hilarious archaic quote from the source. Godzooks, someone drank all the mead. Now, we don't really say godzooks anymore unless we're being intentionally dramatic or playing a character in a fantasy game, but it proves just how much flavor, humor, and pure personality an interjection brings to a sentence. Think about your own daily life. Which of these tiny emotion words do you rely on the most in your own dramatic moments? Are you a yikes person? An oof person? Pay attention to the tiny words you use today. You might just be surprised by how big your feelings really are. Thanks for learning with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.